This is the High School Crossfire. Welcome back.
Are you aware that huge salary difference can lead to suicide? Yes or no?
Pardon?
Are you aware that huge salary difference can lead to suicide? Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. Do you understand the meaning of major?
Pardon?
Do you understand the meaning of major?
Yes.
State for me the motion of today.
This house blames the major.
The fact that I'm dealing with people who don't understand the motion, thank you. Do you know the problem is faced by men in uniform?
Yes.
State for me 4.
I won't answer that. I'm sorry.
Okay. Does Uganda need a minimum wage?
Pardon?
Does Uganda need a minimum wage?
No.
Why?
These are close-ended questions, please.
Please, I would like you to answer my questions the way I posed them. Are you aware that Uganda's informal sector is bigger than its formal sector, and that's why Uganda has put across a minimum wage, but it's not working. It's not that it's lacking, but the minimum wage is just dormant because it was activated in June. Are you aware of that?
No.
Good. Can go to the next question. What is your source of evidence that lack of minimum wage legislation is the major cause?
The present situation in the country.
Can you describe the present situation?
These are close-ended questions, please.
Okay, let me leave. Thank you. The fact that our speaker does not know the extent at what minimum wage causes suicide, I don't understand. I don't think that minimum wage causes suicide, because we have come here and have explained to them that minimum wage of Uganda is 130,000. 130,000. So if we implement that policy, that means that people who are working at 500,000 shillings will be affected. We cannot allow people, the teachers of this school who are working at 2 million, to be what? To be exploited. You are the ones who are talking about over-exploitation, but over-exploitation is not the issue now. Now, you cannot tell me that a teacher who is earning 2M will be put at 500,000 because it is the minimum wage. So, which school is going to give you 2M when other schools are putting at 500,000? Answer that question for me, please. Another question to you. I cannot understand. If I ask you that, is the minimum wage policy lacking? And you are like, yes. The minimum wage policy is there in Uganda, but it's not being activated. So everything you have been talking about today, I am not understanding. Do you know that it's there? You don't know that it's there. And you don't know that it has been activated. So how are you going to bring about a policy that is already there and it's not working? You have not laid for us the strategies that the policy is there, but the policy is just dormant. That means it won't help us. The only solutions we have is to work upon the training for the men in uniforms, those ones that are the police officials, making sure that salaries are given in time to solve those problems, giving them allowances. Some of them are stressed. Some of them have mental illnesses. They need medical checkup. You don't know what's inside me. You're speaking about the police officer. The police officer was lacking enough salary. Do you know what he had? Do you know what that police officer ate last night? Do you know what that police officer ate last night? Those people are not given enough medical checkup. So if we give them enough medical checkup, we ensure salaries are given in time, we work upon their training time. We give them time for allowances, we can solve these problems. Thank you, the judges. I pray this cannot happen. It must be the way we want it today. Because this debate, it's not all about the lack of minimum wage legislation. You have to deal with the problems of us, the officials. Thank you.
Good evening to everyone. So I'm going to ask the fourth speaker close-ended questions that require a yes or a no. The first questions: do high-ranking officers be at the front line at battlefields?
No.
Do high-ranking officers protect any homes in Uganda?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Do high-ranking officials protect any homes in Uganda?
Yes.
Do high-ranking officials have bodyguards?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the minimum wage, the minimum wage stated by your first speaker?
Obviously, 130,000 shillings.
Okay. Can it be enough for a policeman for a month?
And that's why we are not implementing the law.
Do you think these policemen that are given that minimum wage can protect us with that little money?
Because they are not given the wage, they are given the right wage right now.
Do you believe stress can cause mental illness?
Obviously.
Is financial stress a cause of mental illness?
Obviously.
Do you think a mentally stable person can protect anything, can do anything useful?
No, that's why we suggested medical
Do you
checkups.
think policemen can implement these things with stress?
No.
Financial stress?
No.
Do you have any alternative apart from setting a minimum wage for this problem?
Yes.
Have you given any alternative to us?
Yes.
What alternative?
I've given setting up medical checkups,
stop
increasing
there.
salaries, and many other things that you have not heard.
Do you think your current causes of this can apply to the given status?
Yes.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked the therefore speaker whether high-ranking officials protect our homes, and I also asked her whether these high-ranking officers have bodyguards. If these high-ranking officers can employ bodyguards, which means how can they protect our homes, yet they themselves need bodyguards to protect them, which means these people that are at the lower levels are the ones that need this minimum price. The minimum price, according to our first speaker, we are going to base on the cost of living index, meaning that we are going to keep changing the minimum price. We are going to keep changing the minimum wage basing on the cost of living that's in the country, so that it can favor everyone and we eliminate the income inequalities. We are basing on this to say that this financial stress caused by the little wages that are given, they told us that the minimum wage in Uganda currently is 130,000 shillings. But according to us, we are saying this minimum wage is going to be set according to the cost of living that's in the cost of living index. Therefore, if a person is given 130,000 per month, a month has 30 days. This 130,000 is money that is given to a student as pocket money, and it doesn't last them a month. How do you expect it to be enough for a policeman who protects everyone's life, who protects the president's life? So we are saying this little money is going to cause stress. The stress is going to cause mental illnesses, and that's when you are going to hear these cases of the suicide and the violence by the men in uniform. So we are suggesting that we set a minimum price, a minimum wage that is according to the cost of living to favor everyone. The minimum wage, yes, might be there, but then it's favorable. We as team farmers, we are coming out that it should be set according to the prevailing cost of living index. We are not opposing the fact that there are other causes of the suicide and the violence by the men in uniform. Yes, they are there. But this point of the of the little money given to the security personnel due to the lack of a wage legislation causes them most. Thank you very much.
I have stressed a couple of grounds today, and I've been given the mandate by my fellow judges to strike the final nail in the coffin. Those who are listening to me in the audience and those on stage right now. Number one, we are going for rounds that are much more consequential than this. Do not allow to lose debates on technicalities. Tonight's resolution is a resolution that could both be interpreted on both policy or value grounds. Team Affirmative exercise their mandate. Look at this resolution as a policy debate. Team Affirmative, you came and failed to define key terms. You came and failed to give us an effective causal link between what you are wanting to implement and how, with statistics effectively, is it going to combat that. However, I cannot fault you on those grounds because Team Negative kept their silence. Ladies and gentlemen, do not lose debate on any grounds. Leave no questions unanswered. Team Affirmative, you come and you're tasked with proving that, hey, do you know that there exists something called post-traumatic stress disorder? Now, just like you've said, of course, when the people men in uniform come into the army, they are fine. But PTSD can be an effect of working in the field. And this is in no way related to salaries. None of you, you dodged the point of PTSD. As I've said, third and fourth speakers of today, you have been good experts at dodgeball. They throw the ball, you dodge it. You're told that 130,000 is what the minimum wage is now. Ladies and gentlemen, team affirmative. Someone comes and lies to you at the beginning of the debate. You could ask them who has signed that bill. Has that bill been signed by the president? But you went ahead and accepted. I faulted both of you on content. I normally award teams for content because content forms a good debate team. If you see your colleagues, everyone who has been on this stage has gotten minimum at least 30 or 32 marks from me for content. Both of you are below 25. Someone cannot lie to you like that. And then you say, you know what? The minimum wage is indeed 130K. According to which law? But team affirmative, you maintain silence. And you went ahead with it. So we are also allowed to presume, according to tonight's debate, the minimum wage is 130K. I will not go further. There are very many positives in the debate. But right now, I want us to clean up and polish up on the bad things and be more effective moving forward. I have already given my dictum by saying that. I agreed both of you scored 15 on style. Content, I gave you 20. Because both of you lied to each other and you did not even effectively look for the lies. However, based off what I've substantiated, I will award more strategy points to team affirmative 27 and team negative 25, making a total of 62 for team affirmative and 60 for team negative.
Now, team negative, you came up and said no. The biggest problem is not lack of a minimum wage. The biggest problem is because these guns are not being monitored. You gave your alternatives to be close monitoring of firearms, mental health checkups, and you gave your houses the Uganda police, right? However, you went again to discuss private security organizations, which are not going to be monitored by the Uganda police, by the way, because they are private security agencies. Then, going back to the alternatives you gave, Team Affirmative came up and told you, that is where I drew the line. Team Affirmative came up and told you, after you gave close firearms monitoring and mental health checkups, Team Affirmative came up and told you, hey, when these security personnel are coming into these security organizations, they have training, they have checkups, and the checkups show that they are mentally stable. However, while they are carrying out their activities, they end up carrying out mentally unstable activities such as gun violence. They gave you an example of Minister Ngola's security personnel who shot him, and what was his reason? Lack of proper salary. So then they clearly showed you that is why they think that Uganda needs a minimum wage. And your understanding of a minimum wage, in my opinion, was a bit lacking. The mere fact that us setting the minimum wage to 100,000 does not mean that someone cannot be paid more than 100,000. Though there are employers that may say, no, I'm only giving you 100,000, but they can be paid more than 100,000. So they came up and stated for you that even if you monitor firearms, even if you have mental health checkups, if you're not paying these people well, they are going to keep on being what? Being mentally unstable and out gun violence. So at the end of the day, you're not solving the problem.
At times when we are discussing some issues of life, issues that concern numbers of life, issues that bring about a change of a human activity or a change of a human kind of a way of life. Yes, at times we might use a lot of fallacies and lies, but the question is, will that team dance to the tune? Team negators, when the farmers came here, gave you all their fallacies, You people never rebutted them. You entertained them, gave them a shoulder to lean on. We assume always and give it a grace period that, you know what, okay, we shall judge this debate in terms of what? How civic are you? Because to be sincere, in terms of, you see all my judges, the way they are giving you marks in content, I might say maybe because the resolution was given to you to research maybe a day after or, but no. Guys, you need to pull up your socks, all of you. Speaker number 4, affirmative. You don't win a debate with such a kind of a posture. A posture where you've already accepted, I'm here, so use me, Lord. When you become a fourth speaker, it's like a war. To those ones who have been with, I've told you, being a fourth speaker is like a war, an academic war. You become what we call quarrelsome. You saw how the negator number 4 did her thing, yes? However much she faulted so much, when you ask a question, which the question was just in line with her, even it made me laugh. The question was, higher ranking police officers, do they take care of other people? They were like, yes. Now, do they have bodyguards? Now, our question was, okay, who takes care of the other? But I understand, maybe because it's true panic or such a kind of a thing. But listen, should you be given a motion at one time, one tea? I might understand your terms of research might be low. Because to be sincere, if you see my marks of research, all of you have scored under 20. Trust me. It's only in strategy that most of you are in 25, at least 28. Style, completely, seriously. Is of that, there are times I always say, when we come to measure the dollar, we call it DMR, the dollar management rule. How do we determine somebody being a person under the 3,850 Ugandan shillings? That is equivalent to $1. As poor, because that person is being termed as poor. You like it or not, if you're earning a day, that's why your strategy gives me an upper hand, because when you calculated to me, I had to do it with my phone. 130,000 divided by 30 days. Guys, I got, was it 2,500 something? It was a catchy kind of a person thing to me. And that's why I gave my marks in terms of strategy. Are we together? Guys, when you're given a resolution, I want you guys to research. Look in depth. Come with statistics that supports your evidence and everything that you're supporting to say. It will even give you the confidence of speaking in that stage. Trust me. I gave the affirmative 64%. I gave the negators a 62%. Is of that the affirmative have the sides. Thank you, and God bless you all.